Oh, wow. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? It's happening. It's so close. It's 2022. The guys behind me are already celebrating, but we have got to check in on the final stop to 2022. This is your final checklist. Are you ready for import controls in the UK 2022? Here is the final rundown on everything that's going down in less than 24 hours. Let's check it out together. Wow, 2022 is really approaching now. Okay, I let you go and celebrate for sure, but let's just very quickly revise and check that we are covered for the 1/1/22 changes. Okay, so here's your final checklist. All right, very quickly so we can go back to the party. Okay, here we go. So before you know, as always, shameless plug, we love customs, we love imports, we love exports, we love you. So let's work together. It's a win-win situation, right? Hey, and if you are looking for customs filing or a helpline, ongoing support throughout the year, whether you have a big budget or a small budget, we'd love to hear from you. If you have a bespoke issue or want to check something, or you need a service, you need a helping hand, then we can help. And if you're interested in training, a modern on-demand training, live training, or in-house training, or multilingual training, we're there for you. Cool? Good. Awesome. Here's just a quick look at the ongoing support service that we help. This is how we help clients throughout the year, not on a one-off, but continuously with information, with trade intelligence, with PLM, our professional legislative monitoring service, and of course, chat helpline and the likes of it. So go check it out. Certification to showcase your skills are always welcome. And so check out the Customs and Global Trade online training that we provide. It's awesome. And then, of course, we'd love to be your clearance agent. We'd love to work with you. We can use all our knowledge that we've acquired from the import and export side in order to make these export and import declarations really compliant and really fast in order for you to reach your goals. All right, so final stop on our daily web series. We've come a long way. We looked at imports. We looked at top tips for making full customs declarations. We had a step-by-step export guide, POW pre-notification using IPAFs, postponed VAT accounting, rules of origin, all check. And now we bring it all together before we head out to the party. All right, so here's your checklist. Let's work through this together. You with a list, with a piece of paper to check, and all you need to do is check. And if you just say check, then go have a party because you're ready. Okay, cool. So delayed declarations, did you make any? We talked about this quite a lot. So if you make delayed declarations, you've got to make sure your supplementary declarations are in with HMRC. If you're late, then let us know. We can help and tell you what we need to do. If you don't know how to submit a supplementary declarations, again, you need to check us out because we can help you with that. Now, looking into full declarations, delayed declarations for the majority of us will go. So full declarations replaces this. So by now you should have your broker, right? If you don't have your customs broker yet, the agent that will make the declarations on your behalf, again, please contact us. We may have a spot available. We're running at capacity almost already, but we're very happy to to accommodate you as best we can. And really, it doesn't matter if it's big volumes, small volumes. If you need it done, we'll be very happy to help. And if you do full customs declarations, always check in what the relationship with the broker is, right? So you want someone who understands what your business is and works with you and takes the time to get to know you. Do you understand what your broker is doing? So on one hand, the broker needs to speak to you and get a feeling for your business. On the other hand, you need to understand what the broker is doing. So have you issued instructions? You're telling them if you want to postpone VAT accounting, if you want who's the import and exporter, how you want the costs to be dealt with, and so on and so on. Everything we talked about in this mini series. And then do you audit your broker for compliance, right? So do you get copies of the SAD, C88 documents or any other documents, including invoices and the likes of it, in order to check whether the broker is doing the right thing. And then full declarations also point if you apply for the MSS data. We talked about this briefly, so this should be something that's on your bucket list to 2022 if you haven't done that yet. Now, I talked a lot about Inco Terms. I'm a fan of Inco Terms. Well, I have to be kind of. have you clarified about risks, opportunities, risk, responsibilities, and costs? So do you know who pays for everything at what point? Do you know if something goes wrong, who's responsible? Do you know who has got the responsibility for which point and up to what point, right? If you are worried about Inco Terms, you don't know what they are, there's online training we provide. You can either buy that off the shop. You go to our website, check the shop, find the Inco training, buy it, or you subscribe to our professional plan, and that has the Inco Term training included. Cool, right? And then we go through all the different Inco Term terms and explain what they all are and which one you should choose and why and okay. Rules of origin, VAT, right? Customs duty and VAT, the costs. You've got to check this out. You've got to understand what the impact is for the bottom line. Does that inflate your costs beyond your profit margin, or is there somebody else that can pay it? And just recheck what we said yesterday about the import VAT and the opportunity to reclaim it using the postponed VAT accounting, and if this is something you can and want to do. Rules of origin, we talked about this yesterday as well. Are you claiming preference on every item that you can? Do you receive the statement of origin from your exporter? And if you are the exporter, so the other way around, and you're sending it out, did you issue a statement on origin? Are you working with your importer in order to facilitate their claiming of origin? Did you collect supplier declarations? Do you need to? And don't forget, if you didn't do that for 2021, you might want to do that post issuings of supplier declarations in order to comply with the EU law. And certainly going forward, in neither the EU or the UK, you would need to collect this information. Okay, 2022 also sees the beginning of a new chapter with the HS changes. So have you reclassified your goods for the change in tariffs in 2022? That applies to the EU as it applies to the UK and applies to many countries around the world. As you know, commodity codes are used worldwide to classify goods that are imported and exported. They are standardized up to 6-digit level, and they're reviewed by the World Customs Organization every 5 years. And the next review takes place tomorrow, and we have issued another video as to how you should go about checking your HS declaration, your HS codes, and change them. And if you need any help, as always, we can help you with that. We can look at your current list of imports, and we can suggest the changes that are coming up, and then you can simply instruct your agent, or you can update your SAP system, your ERP system, I should say, in order to make sure that you're up to date when the changes come. On GVMS, this is the Goods Vehicle Movement Service, and this is entering into force for EU GP trades, for most of it at least, also on tomorrow. And this is now starting for EU imports and GB exports to the EU. We talked about this during our step-by-step guides, and there is a need to generate a GMR, a goods movement reference number, in order to board the ferry, etc. So no GMR, no ferry. So you got to understand how that works and make sure your haulier has all the information they need in order to generate the GMR, right? So just be mindful of that. Don't forget about that. If you forget about that, your goods might get stuck. And on the sanitary and phytosanitary measures, so the SPS measures, there's PWOW and there's IPAFs. And we talked about what PWOW is, we talked about what IPAFs is. That IPAF system is pre-notification system entering into force tomorrow. PWOW goods need to be pre-notified. Are you registered? Have you got access? Can you do it? The whole thing. Timeline and registrations requirements are important and need to be respected. So if you're dealing with PWOW goods, you need IPAFs. Yes? Good? Happy. Right. And then note, on July 2021, as currently scheduled, at the point of this recording, there are other changes that will come into force that you need to know, and there'll be more information as we move through 2022. So there'll be requirements for full safety and security declarations on all imports. There'll be new requirements on export health certificates. There'll be requirements for phytosanitary certificates, and there'll be physical check on sanitary and phytosanitary goods at border control posts. And then finally, note that obviously border controls will also kick in, and this means there will be more checks as before. Border facilities are open, inland border facilities, IPAFs, may need to be visited more often in order to carry out certain checks. That's as quickly as I could make it. I hope it was useful. Now, over the last 5 days, we've spent a lot of time together and we have visited everything you need to know, from imports to exports to top tips for making customs declarations, dealing with the agents, looking at postponed VAT accounting, looking at VAT, looking at IPAFs, POW, rules of origin, and then finally pulling it all together in top tips. This is the kind of way that we operate at Customs Manager. We give you training just like that, and we add a lot of quizzes, we let a lot of interaction, and there's always a chat line where you can ask your questions at any time. So there is a lot of ways you can get to work with us in 2022, and we would really appreciate it. Whether it is a one-off support service, that's consultancy, whether it is training your teams, training you as an individual, training you in ways you want to be trained, whether it is live training. And there are monthly training sessions, whether it is on demand, so you can study anywhere, anytime, pre-recorded, and then you work through the modules, and that could work. Or it is in-house, then we come to you. All of that is possible. We even teach in French, Spanish, German, and English. So if that is of interest to you, you've got a multi-international team you want to work with, then please hit us up. We'd love to work with you on training as well. Or whether it is customs declarations. So we file customs declarations into GB and out of GB, import, export, transit, even into Northern Ireland, and we would love to be the agent that works with you. And obviously all of that can be combined together, and that then brings you to the helpline. So there is a helpline that you can subscribe to. There is a free version of it. Obviously that's quite limited. Then there is a starter package, which is perfect for individuals and smaller SMEs with a low budget. That gives you a really good service to start you off with. And once you develop the capacities, you move on to the professional plan. And that's only £3 a day, an annual plan, in order to help you continuously. So you have questions and you know that a customs expert is right by your side. So with these services, so consultancy, training, brokerage, and annual helpline, you have customs sorted. So we hope, and you have a customs manager on speed dial. Now, if that is not positive, I don't know what is. So if you're concerned about whether you can manage all this world of customs, of course you can. And why can you? Because you've got a customs manager at your side. All right, that's enough. I am ready for champagne. Let's go and celebrate the new year 2022. I wish you a wonderful start into the new year with lots of happiness, lots of joy, no stress, and of course, a lot of business success and personal good health. Arnie out. I'm off to the party. See you all in 2022. Cheerio!